Morning. Morning. First word of the day always takes a little practice. Oh, I was pondering when I build wooden kits, balsa kits, and I have always had so much trouble just getting everything straight, especially on the fuselage. You know, you set those formers up, you get them nice and straight, and then you set all your stringers, and then you flip it over the other half, and and when you look at it, like you're from the bottom, your formers are like that or something. Like, how did that happen? Did the tension of the wood change it, or am I just blind? So I got the bright idea one time. I'm gonna put the formers together and press them flat and glue them together so they come out like a disc, nice and hard, and then gonna figure out a way to put them on the keel, and was so careful and stood it on front and made sure the top of the tail was straight up, so that the first one that went in was absolutely 90 degrees, had the wedges down there, and did the same thing for the rest of them, and then started putting the stringers in very careful, one at a time, then one on the other side, so it wouldn't bow one way or the other. Helped, but still wasn't quite straight. I haven't quite figured out how to get it right, and you get all done, you're like, you put everything together, it's still a little skewed. You're like, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I do this? It's basic geometry. Last one I built was the RC Luscombe, which was a Dare Industries kit, and I mean, it flew, so I guess it came out straight enough, but balsa is its own world. And I've seen some of the skin jobs people have done, like on model ships and stuff, out of wood, because they'll build them up like a balsa airplane, by the frame, the stringers, and put the wood on it. And of course, weight isn't a thing like it is on an airplane, especially if it's a display. But the fact that they keep everything so straight and angular, like, is there some tool I'm missing? They do some beautiful work. My nephew was in Navy ROTC some years back, and my sister said, look, if I buy a model of a ship, will you build it for him for some speech he had to give in class? And of course, I'm like, okay. She got me a Oliver Hazard Perry class frigate, I forget who made it, plastic kit, and I built it up for him, but I looked at all the reference photos, and of course, obviously, the Navy paints everything gray, and I wanted to detail it, but basically I painted the ship gray, and I kept looking, and I wasn't seeing enough on a modern vessel. Everything was obviously so monotone that I tried to add some details, some flourishes here and there, but overall, I mean, it came out okay. But I mean, the thing that stood out the loudest was the decal, the number on it. And he took it to ROTC, and they loved it so much they kept it and put it in the ROTC building. It's up on display there. And I was thinking, it's great. It looks right. It came out okay. It just seems like, other than a few finishing details, everything's so stealth these days that it's, I don't want to say it's not exciting. You just look, it looks accurate, but you're just kind of like, so I could see why people like to put when they build World War II aircraft, they want to put the pre-war neutrality colors on the models, because they're bold and they pop, and there's a lot to them. They're eye candy, and you look at the darker, more monotone, later war stuff, and it looks good, but you're just kind of like, it's so nice to have these color, like camouflage patterns that pop out at you. They're complex and interesting. When everything's basically one color, you're just like, But I should probably do another wood kit. I wouldn't mind doing another bird dog from Guilo's. The very first model I ever built, I think, was an Airfix BTK Spitfire, because I remember it came in a bag. It was a gray Spitfire. This had been in the mid '60s, and I was so young I didn't even know that you used water to put on the decal, so I wound up taping them on the airplane. So we interrupt this program to bring you breaking news. Today is laundry day at our house. That has forced a change of venue. I don't know what I was talking about. It probably wasn't that important. Wooden models and paint and stuff, different colors, you know. There's always that subdued paint job option versus the, you know, the louder, more colorful, more contrast. And, but, I've built so many models, went through so many cans of intermediate blue, making all the models for Midway. And those are quick builds because they weren't going to be close to the camera. They were going to be at distance. So, and I knew I had to frost over all the glass and everything, so I wasn't really too worried about it. I just had to look basically right from a distance. But I've got another 1/48 scale TVD Devastator, and I'd like to make that sort of a hero prop. You know, really detail that one nicely, make it look good up close and personal. The PT boat, the PT 109 I've got, need to do that, but I haven't built a kit model boat or ship in a long time. I have to do a little research on that one. You know, Kennedy kept a model of a PT boat in the White House. I guess it was of his PT boat, but a little reminder. And you know, I wonder how many famous people have had models as part of their office decor. You know, I know Werner von Braun had a lot of wooden model rockets. So I went to Huntsville Museum, and a lot of them are still on display there. Those are all hand carved, and I've got some hand carved wood models. So, I mean, I didn't make them, I had them made in the Philippines. But nice thing about them is so durable. That's actually what I used to deal in. Maxxis Models originally started dealing in, like I said before, the snap together plastic ones like the Worcesters and Long Prospers, and a lot of stuff that I had picked up or had shipped in from the Philippines. The nice, you know, the heavy metal props they make down there and everything. It's really nice to have those the durability, because unfortunately we don't have plastic kits, not terribly durable at all. Although I've seen some articles on ways to make them more durable for like taking to shows and stuff. The vacuform kits, the few that I built, I didn't know this when I first made them. They were so flimsy, and then the guy who made the real nice ones I'd seen, said that you have to make a wooden structure, you know, get some nice balsa or something and make a basic frame to build it on. After I did that, they were a lot more robust, but of course still very delicate. But I still have respect for people who can make vac kits look nice, because it's just such a different medium. I had considered trying to make models out of making a mold and using that stuff that you can buy, that you can inject into, I guess it's like a foam. You spray it in, it fills up. I've seen some guys make molds out of that, and you shoot that stuff in there, and then it would expand. They take it out of the mold and then you know, sand it down. Pretty nice stuff came out that way. Usually more for RCs. Making models from scratch. God, years ago I was at the Smithsonian, and they had a display on model airplanes. They still do, I think, at the Udvar Hazy facility. But they had a big F-105 Thunder Chief down there, and some pictures of the guy making it. It was plastic model, but he entirely made it from scratch, a completely scratch built. I don't know, 120, 125 scale. I don't remember. It was pretty big, but it looked as good as any kid I've ever seen, and everyone was sanded down, and he almost made it the way you make a model out of wood, almost a sculpture, although I guess he fabricated other parts the other way. But gosh, the attention to detail, the craftsmanship is insane. I am not worthy. And the cat's over there just sleeping up a storm. skip painting today. And still got to do my morning physical therapy. Just the at-home stuff tomorrow. I go off and do the stuff at the therapy center. So we will hopefully see you guys this evening for an evening episode, and I'll try to come up with something a little more coherent to talk about. Well, we'll see you guys later. You have a good morning. Happy Monday.